Alright, so we're back in the world of Path of Exile 2, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my updated Gemling Legionnaire Flicker Strike build. A lot of you wanted to see an update for the build, and seeing that we've done some pretty impressive improvements on the build, dumping something like, I believe about 10 Divine at this point into the build. We have gained quite a bit of strength, damage has gone up quite a bit, able to clear significantly more content, and overall the build has just seen some overall good improvements, and I think it's time for an update. Anyway, it is a new year and it's time to do an update. Let's dive into the video. Alright, now we're on the build section, and I want to say thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. I know it's 2025 now, it's the first day of 2025, we got a lot to go here. Expect a lot more builds and content, not just Path of Exile, but a lot of other content. But yeah, want to thank you all for the support on the Path of Exile 2 content. It's really nice to see people being a little bit more welcome to not known creators. I mean, I've been playing for a long time, but I'm not a known creator, so really appreciate the support. But yeah, want to do an update. I know a lot of you wanted to see a Mobalytics link. That will be in the description this time. I didn't want to do it in the last video because the builds get some drastic changes, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's down in the description. You'll be able to go read the written guide. But yeah, let's go over the build. And as I said in the intro, probably was that we've undergone some huge changes. Most of that comes from upgrading the gems and just getting the build to just feel a little bit more complete. Let's go over it. So right now what we did with Ice Strike specifically is we got a 6 link on this. This is by far I believe the biggest upgrade in terms of expense, because most of this scaling this build is going to just be like divines and stuff. That's how you're going to scale this build, because it's an attribute stacking build, right? So Ice Strike has got a 6 link. We dropped the old one, and then because it was corrupted, and then we added 5 and 6 link. So that was about a 3.4 divine upgrade. So it was a pretty pricey one. I think it's been the most significant. So we got Ice Strike, martial tempo, consecrated effect, primal armament, inspiration, and then we added close combat. By the way, a lot of you guys always ask me about the tooltip DPS on things. It's not really a good measure. I'm not sure if you guys are a little new, but if I take the close combat support, it doesn't actually change the number. That's because the tooltip doesn't always read everything correctly. You should always take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. For what it's worth, whenever I'm fully buffed to have 82,000 damage or something, DPS tooltip. But again, I don't really take that in consideration because it doesn't take my close combat and many of my other things into consideration in this number. Anyway, moving on, we did add another 5 link to this one. And Herald of Ice got magnified effect, elemental focus, full mastery, and then we added cold pin. I'm not sure if this is better than adding in the thing that makes it so it drops frozen ground. Maybe I have that on the charge staff. We'll double check that. But I'm using cold pin here. I've seen things freeze a little bit better, so who knows? Feels good, so that's what I'm using now. Any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Next on our Tempest Bell, we have also 5 linked it as well because we really wanted to get it a little bit better. Leverage, Immolate, Rage, and then we put Calling Strike. I've been contemplating using Rage Forge. That's the one that will consume Rage, but it's hard to tell what it does. Like if I drop the bell and then I'll start building Rage, and then if the individual hit gets that buff or if the bell gets the whole buff, it's hard to really tell. I'm assuming if I have Rage and I drop the bell, it'll make the whole bell get it's really weird. Tempest Bell is really hard to tell how it scales, but anyway, reason Calling Strike specifically, it's been helpful. The reason why I like Calling Strike specifically is because it makes it easier for me to kill the rares and the uniques. And seeing that I don't really drop the bell on trash anyway, I don't really have a reason to do anything but put Calling Strike here, because it's just it's pretty much just a 10% call against rares and a 5% call against uniques. And that actually goes a long way because I tend to like to burst them down as quickly as possible, and that actually works really well with it. I want to give them an opportunity to attack. So yeah, anyway, that's what we're using on Tempest Bell. Combat Frenzy haven't changed. Charge staff, we did add persistence on this, and this gave us 40% more skill effect duration. You can put this on your Hand of Galula, whatever it's called, and get longer duration on that debuff, but honestly it's not that important. Like I feel like it's easier to just throw the curse on them than like rebuff. That makes sense. Like a buff is going to be more valuable for this build. And whenever I'm fully buff, I can't show you here, but because I need to charge up. But whenever I'm fully buffed, it has 120 seconds on the charge staff. And this is our biggest DPS increasing benefit. Like our damage, our DPS tooltips almost double whenever we activate this. Actually, it more than doubles now. So this is really important to keep going, and that's why I'm using it. This will be my next 6th link, if I'm being honest, because I want to see what else I can do with charge staff, because I think this is a really strong ability. Wouldn't be surprised if we get nerfed though. End of Chalulu didn't get changed. Wind Dancer didn't get changed. Then on Flicker Strike, we put Life Thief on it. We got another 5 link here. And this has actually been really nice in helping us stay alive when we flicker. Because as you guys know, whenever you're flickering, you can still be hit. And enemies know where you're going to flicker to before you know where you're going to land to. So like if you're flickering and you land, they already are winding up attack to hit you because they know. Just that, I don't know, questionable coding on the GGG team. This is really helpful because while you're flickering, I'm constantly stealing life against everything, and I don't really need to pot while I'm flickering because I feel comfortable getting like a lot of health back. So it's been really helpful. Not sure if that's worth a 5 link. I'll probably put that lowest priority, but that is our skill gems. Some really nice changes, nothing too different. Just dropped the 6 link on the ice. So it's been really nice. For our passive tree, which we're gonna go over next, we haven't made too many changes. We got our 4th ascendancy and we got implanted gems. Been thinking about using this one, but implanted gems have been okay. I don't know if this is I don't feel like this is that great of an upgrade, if I'm being honest. Like 1 skill level for 2 ascendancy nodes. Maybe I'm wrong, but that doesn't feel that impactful. I feel like if that was even 3, that would feel kind of underwhelming. But it's like kind of the best we have. Kind of lame, if I'm being honest. Kind of lame, this upgrade here. It was kind of super weak to me. Oh, the major changes is all of our jewels got these resistance things in. So we just add that. You gotta search by enchanted. I had someone helped out the other day. He was trying to figure out how to get it. When you search the tooltip, you search under enchanted fire resistance, and you can find these. The price went up though, but I'm looking for damage with staves and evasion, elemental damage, that kind of stuff. And I just added that to cover my resistances, so my resistances could look a lot better. Then we grab this blade catcher to give us a little bit more crit res and strength. And then we just grab this jewel. We need to go get a jewel, but the trait site is down. So what can do? What I would have there is, because you can probably tell by my defenses, double checking camera, it's 67%. We would put something here, but the trait site's down, so I can't do anything about it. That trait site's been funky the last couple of days. Anyway, more gems here, more gems here. Same thing, cold res. Just pretty much going with resistance. These are just glorified resistance locations. That's pretty much it. The tree hasn't changed too much. For our gear, we got some changes here. For our helmet, we got the Black Sun crest wrap great helmet is what we got an upgrade on. What I prioritized with this was strength and dex. So if you get a 15 across the board, it goes up like to 5 or 6 divine. And to me personally, 3% resistance isn't worth 4 more divine. That's like insanity to me. So all I did was just number it by having a cap 15 strength, because that's the most important, followed by 15 dex. And then I just clicked at the bottom, I changed it to divine, 1 divine. And I just clicked the intelligence to see it had the highest int roll, and that was the highest int roll, which was 12. So 1 divine for this upgrade, better than most upgrades I feel on my build, because it gave me quite a bit of strength. I think I showed it earlier, but we have 629 strength. There's still like 300 strength we can easily get on this build or more. And then overall stats, we can get a lot more for like sprint, dex and intelligence. We're going to work on in the next coming days. With the Moria Invictus, let me move closest, whatever the hell this is called, I really don't want this item. Like, I'm only using it because we have to, guys. But once this item rarity nonsense get patched in the next coming, I'm assuming, week or 2, we're probably going to swap out of this to a armor based chest. I know that sounds crazy bad, but this is just because we need strength on our gear. And I'm pretty sure you need an armor base, maybe like a hybrid armor evasion base, and we're gonna go with like strength, life, and that kind of stuff to give us a lot more like utility for the build. Major changes, I don't know if we upgraded our gloves, but we got some added cold, added fire, strength, cold, res, just to cover our res again. I think this is another upgrade. We got the boots. We got 30 ms boots with more chaos. We want to cover our chaos a little bit. We're starting to lean into getting our chaos covered. Cold res, strength, and then a really low life roll, but it was like one of the best I could get for one div at the time. Those are due for an upgrade. For our rings, we got a breach ring here that had added fizz, added cold, some strength, some int, really good stuff. And actually the 9 mana has actually been really helpful in helping us maintain mana, so kind of helpful with that. On our other ring, life, all attribute strength, cold res, added cold, added lightning, some chaos. Not the best piece, probably gonna need like a 5 div upgrade to really get it off the ground, but this is what we're doing on our rings. In our necklace, I don't think it changed. It was just res, spirit, and life with the rarity. Probably gonna get that next. We need to improve our belt and our necklace next, and we need to possibly consider getting those gloves. The one that gives you lightning, Hoa, whatever they're called. Possibly consider those. It's just resistances are a little tough to cover, as you probably come to expect. But we'll see what we do with that, because our damage is in a really good spot. We can kill pretty much everything with very little problem. I haven't done tier 4 Zech, whatever his name is yet, but we'll see how it goes. But overall, damage is feeling pretty solid if we can get our hits off. Sometimes it bugs out, so after the flicker. But yeah, that's overall what we're using for our gear. I think when it comes to our gear in terms of upgrades, before like the last video, this was one div, this was one div, I believe this was one div, so this was probably about a 11 div set of gear right here, depending on how much this is. I don't know how much this went up, but this is like 11 div set of gear. So we're getting to pricey territories on our stuff. We're probably at 15 div on this build, and to push it to the next level, you're probably gonna start pushing towards the 100 div area, but you should be strong enough to do 100 div. 100 div shouldn't scare you, because you can do it. But anyway, that's pretty much it on this build. That's you know, we've seen a lot of upgrades. We're going to be doing some upgrades in the next coming days. We're going to be playing some other games in the next coming days, but check out the Mobalytics. I'll be sure to keep that updated on any changes coming. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Huge thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for 2024 and making it a great year. Got a lot to come on the channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video very soon.